Aloha everybody. So we are on a Hawaii cruise that only happens once a year. Now, there's a couple ships that do it, and we decided to do Royal Caribbean's Ovation of the Seas. We're gonna take you guys with us from Vancouver to Honolulu. If this is your first time joining us, I'm Gina and this is Cruising Foodies. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Now let's get cruising. So for us, we took a quick 5-hour flight from Honolulu to Vancouver. When you arrive at that airport, you do have to go through customs, and then we took an Uber over to the pier. Now, the check-in process didn't take as long as you would think. However, there was a lot of lines and a lot of rules and regulations that you had to follow. We went through several different lines and had to receive this little yellow ticket before going on to customs, and then after customs we finally were able to embark on the ship. The one thing I want to give you a heads up on: once you embark, you cannot get off. So I do want to start you off with a room tour. Now, we did an ocean view guarantee, which means that we did end up with 2 rooms at the very front of the ship. These rooms are slanted towards the window area so that you can see out on the bow of the ship, but they have plenty of storage, plenty of room, and we really weren't disappointed. A couple of the nights it was a little bit noisy, but it wasn't anything that really woke us up or anything like that. The bathroom was a standard size. You can see that there's plenty of counter space, and the room itself, in my opinion, felt a little bit larger, especially because we had 2 seating areas. I love the extra little set of couches that was over by the window area, and the couch itself was also a really great size. The kids had the same exact room as us, except theirs was just a couple floors lower than ours, so we did go back and forth between both, and we did get some really great views out of the bow of the ship. This ship isn't great for people that are prone to a little bit of seasickness though, because it can get a little bit rocky when you're in the front of the ship, especially when you're on the open water area. As you can see, both of the staterooms are pretty much set up exactly the same. There are 2 large closets that can store a lot of clothing, and we had drawers as well. And again, the bathrooms were a really great size. You don't have a bathtub in these rooms. Instead, you do have a shower, but they do provide you with a safe and also a hair dryer. We also really enjoyed just watching everything that was happening down there on the bow of the ship. Okay, so the question that I get asked the most is, what is the buffet like over on Royal Caribbean? So let's go inside the first night of the Windjammer for dinner. In our opinion, we really felt that the buffet on the Ovation of the Seas definitely excelled in not only their food quality, but also the variety. We were on the ship for 10 days, and we definitely hit up the buffet every single day. I normally only do specialty dining, but in this particular case, we really felt that they had a nice variety, and we loved some of the stations that they had on here compared to some of the other ships that we had been on. They always had plenty of desserts, fresh fruit, salads, and of course, lots of cookies. We really liked the variety that they had with the antipasta station. I mean, lots of meats and cheeses and breads and fruits and nuts, the soup bowls, the prosciutto and melon. I mean, it really was great, and they offered the same staples every night in some parts. You always had a meat dish, a pasta dish, a chicken dish. You always had plenty of potatoes. So if you have somebody that's not a super adventurous eater, they're definitely going to find plenty to eat here. We loved their Indian station. We were super impressed with all the different varieties that they offered. It wasn't the same thing every single day, so we really appreciated that. They had a really great Asian station as well. There was lots of noodles and rice dishes and curries, and they also had a pasta station at night where you could just pick your own ingredients and make your own pasta. They always had a burger station, hot dogs, and then some fried chicken, French fries, kind of just all the classics. Lots of different salads as well, from potato salads to coleslaws. They had a little deep fried section, and those had some great things as well. Loved the donuts there too. It was a nice little variety and a nice little added touch, even though there were already plenty of desserts. The biscuits were great. We loved their barbecue night. Their Italian night was really nice as well. I also want to mention that if you do have any food allergies, they are super helpful with that. You can just find one of the chefs that are on the line, and they will basically walk you through what you can have or grab you something from the back that is allergy friendly. Their noodle and rice station was great, so if you do have any kind of a gluten allergy or dairy allergy, there were a lot of different options there, and you can ask them to have a stir fry made up the way you like it with all of the ingredients that you really enjoy. The beverages that are included are going to be hot coffee, hot tea, regular ice water, and then they also have these kind of fruity waters that they include as well. Sodas and alcohol are extra. We found that the fruit and the pastries on this buffet were definitely changing every day. We didn't feel like there was a lot of repetition, so we really enjoyed that. The lunch buffet and the breakfast buffet also had a wide variety of food. We noticed that the fried rice had different vegetables in it. The carving station was always different as well. There was plenty of seating both inside and out, and the breakfast buffet was definitely great because, of course, besides the yogurts and parfaits and tons of bacon and eggs, you could always have something custom made for you too. So we really liked the omelet station on here. The chefs were awesome. They had pancakes and waffles and also a variety of pancakes, lots of toppings. We noticed the whipped cream and just the chocolate chips, and of course the basics like cereal and just some fruit if that's all you're looking for on one of those days. Okay, so you might know that the Solarium is an adults only area that has like some indoor jacuzzis, but they also have the Solarium Bistro, which is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The dinner has like kind of a Mediterranean style, so we're gonna go check it out tonight. So this was something that I have not seen on the other ships. The Solarium Bistro had this Mediterranean restaurant. Now, it looks like a traditional sit-down restaurant, but it's actually a buffet. And the thing that I loved about this is that they had smaller portions of lots of different dishes. So they had lamb, they had fish, they had falafel, they had fried calamari, they had all different kinds of hummus and sauces. So I really love that aspect. Now, the thing to remember is that the menu does not change. So if you really liked what you had or you just didn't have enough room, you can go back to this a second time. So it is also a great option, especially if you love Mediterranean food. Another complimentary venue on the Ovation of the Seas is the Dog House. Now, they have hot dogs, sausages, bratwurst, and all the toppings that you could think of. They're going to be located in the Seaplex. You also have Cafe 270, which is open for breakfast and lunch and offers salads, wraps, and lots of desserts. One place that we also enjoyed that was complimentary is Fish and Chips. Now, this one has a bunch of deep fried seafood dishes. There is an upcharge for the lobster, but everything else is included. Tonight we're checking out the main dining room. Now, there's two places that you can be seated. The first one is going to be inside of Silk, and the other one is going to be inside of the Icon. Usually if you have reservations, they put you over in Silk, and if not, they put you over in the Icon, but it's kind of like a first come, first serve. So tonight is Asian night, so we're going to check out the menu. So the lines for the main dining room can be a bit long, but it did move pretty good. We went on Asian night, and we did try a bunch of different dishes. I will be honest though, it's a little bit of a slower service, and it wasn't our favorite. We actually rather go to the buffet than the main dining room on this one. All right, so tonight is the first formal night, and we decided to check out Chops. So let's take a look. Now, Chops is a staple for us. Every time we're on Royal Caribbean, we check them out. Everything from the pork belly to their salads with fried cheese and the carpaccio and the steaks were really fantastic. They did a great job on this Chops. I would say consistent with the other Royal Caribbean ships that we have been on. If you're looking for a steakhouse on a cruise, I definitely recommend checking this one out for your specialty dining night. The desserts were awesome as well. One of my favorite specialty restaurants on board Royal Caribbean is Wonderland. We're going to take you guys with us. So Wonderland has long been a favorite restaurant of mine aboard Royal Caribbean. I love the variety of food. I love how different everything is. If you're a foodie and you're adventurous, this is definitely the spot for you. The presentation is awesome, but besides the presentation, they just kind of combine a lot of different things and flavors, and they just make some really great meals. We love their short ribs. We love their fish dishes. The one thing that you absolutely can't miss out on, though, is their dessert. Between this flaming chocolate ball and this really cool mousse apple. It is just so great, and it's one of those things that we look forward to every time we're on board a Royal Caribbean ship. Now, Izumi is the last restaurant that we checked out of their specialty dining. It is a sushi restaurant, and it was really great as well. We actually did a class on making sushi, which we'll get to in just a little bit. So we really enjoyed that even more than dining in the restaurant because it just had such a fun vibe to it. But the restaurant itself, they did a really nice job. So it's happy hour over on the Ovation of the Seas in the Diamond Plus Lounge, and this is what they have. So I've been cruising with Royal for 34 years now, and I love their Diamond Club. I do like everything that they put out for us as well. I love that they have small portions so you can kind of sample a little bit of everything. They have things out for breakfast time. Right around lunchtime, there's always some kind of a snack, and then the happy hour is really great as well. They have plenty of space, and it's a really nice little room. One of the many activities that they offer over here on the Ovation of the Seas is a cupcake decorating class. Now they hold this over at Jamie's, which is located right by 270, and the chefs put together a really awesome little presentation. So your cupcake is already made, but then they give you all of the icing and fondant, and they have you build a character. So today's character is actually a frog. We're going to take you guys with us. This cupcake making class was absolutely adorable. Now they hold it over at Jamie's, and they have it several times on the ship. Just check your planner, and then you can see when you can make reservations. They do everything from icing to fondant. They walk you through the entire process so that you can make a cute little creature as well. Isabella really had a ball doing this. She's been doing it since she was little. So another one of the classes that they offer over here on the Ovation of the Seas is going to be a sushi making class, and this is over at Izumi. All right, so by far one of the best experiences we've had at sea in a long time. We did this sushi making class, and we weren't really sure what to do, or what we were doing, I should say, but they walk you through every step from proper sanitization to getting the oil on your hands and making sure that you have your rice spread out evenly. They come around to each table and walk you through it, and they also mark your plate so you don't have to worry about anything getting cross-contaminated. Again, if you have food allergies, you let them know and they take care of all of that for you. Isabella was again the star of the show in our family. She did such a good job with all of her sushi making. We were super impressed. Apparently so was the sushi chef. He did come around to let her know a couple times. The best part of this is, of course, you get to eat everything that you made. So this was one of those classes that if you're looking for a fun family day, definitely add this to your itinerary. I can't recommend it enough. I was really impressed with this class. So if you're thinking about checking out one of these classes, I definitely recommend that sushi class. Like, honestly, that was really fun and we learned a ton, and sushi was like top quality. You know, whenever you get to eat your work, that's always a fun experience, right? One of the things on the Ovation of the Seas is the music hall. Now, there is live music here, and then at nighttime, it turns into a nightclub. I'm gonna take you guys inside. And by the way, they also have some pool tables. So they do have a lot going on in the music hall. Besides live music, they also have trivia here as well, and then some of their like games that they play too. They have some dance games as well, so that was really fun. Nighttime, this kind of turns into more of a nightclub vibe, and you'll definitely see that. We love the pool tables. They are complimentary, by the way, and you do find the pool cues right behind the table, and this also backs up to the Diamond Lounge. Now, we played trivia here a couple times, and we came at night to see the live bands as well. The theater is located directly behind the music hall, and of course they offer a lot of different shows, and besides the shows, they also have some informational seminars that they had there as well. This is also a meeting place when people do tours. A lot of times the Royal Theater is where they take you. The shows at night are listed on your app, so make sure you check that out. The photo gallery is located right outside of the theater, and they offer everything from digital photos to print photos. It's also near the Schooner Bar, which is just a staple on Royal Caribbean. I believe that bar has been around the longest. This is also where Chops is located. That is a specialty dining restaurant. That's going to be your steakhouse. Really beautiful venue, lots of seating. Right outside of the Schooner Bar is where you would go to get to Izumi, and also to overlook the Royal Esplanade. Izumi again is going to be your specialty restaurant for sushi and sashimi, and also some cooked dishes as well. This is also located right by Wonderland, so you can kind of see it off to the left there. And then as you can see, they were having a sale this day, so everybody was out there checking it out. Wonderland is our other favorite specialty dining experience. I think that's Taylor Swift's face on the chair there, not so sure, but this place is really awesome. During the daytime, you can see how elaborate the decorations are. Love this place. Definitely recommend checking it out, especially if you're a foodie. There is another photo gallery that is located right off of Wonderland. Now, this is going to be more for private photos, so you can schedule this while you're on board. The Royal Esplanade is really cool. I love that it's 2 floors and you can kind of people watch from up top, or you can walk around downstairs. They do have a shore excursion area, and this area is located right next to the Bionic Bar. Now, the Bionic Bar, if you haven't seen this before, are 2 machines that make drinks for you. You schedule it on the little iPad, and then the robots do their thing, and they just mix all the drinks up for you. People love watching this, and you'll see people videotaping it all day long. There is a little side part over there that shows you when your drink is ready by your first name. After you leave the Bionic Bar, you can go check out some of the stores that are on board. They have everything from makeup and perfumes and lotions to clothing and jewelry as well. I will say that some of the sales that they had on there were pretty good. Other ones were kind of comparable to our prices here in Hawaii. So the watches and the bags, they had a little bit of a different variety than what we have back here, so that was kind of cool to see. They definitely get busy when they have certain sales, like their $9.99 sale and their $15 sale. So you will see a lot of traffic in that area during that time. But for the most part, it is really easy to get around there. The Amber and Oak pub was definitely popular throughout our entire trip. They do have live music, and they also have a different bar menu, and they have some food as well. It's located right by the Sorrento's Pizza, which is open late night. By the way, they also have options, so if you have any food allergies, including gluten and dairy, they can take care of that for you too. Now, this is going to be located right next to your 24/7 restaurant. That's your little cafe promenade. That's going to be your sandwiches, light snacks, and pastries, and your coffees and teas, which are open 24 hours a day. As you can see, this day they were super busy when it came down to sales. So there was all kinds of watch sales and jewelry and everything. So they did get quite a crowd this day. I went in to check out some of the tote bags, the Marc Jacobs and whatnot, and they were pretty cool to see. We didn't have some of these selections back in Hawaii, but I'm not sure if they're available on the mainland. However, it was neat to see. There is a patisserie that is across from the 24-hour restaurant. Now, just so you know, these are charged, so these are not complimentary, but they do have coffee and pastry. The guest services is also located in that area, along with Boleros, which is your Spanish club, and they also do an art auction in this area as well. This area has plenty of seating, and they also have a really nice dance floor. At nighttime, this place was definitely jumping. It was really great to see. Now, there's also a piano player that you're going to find all over the ship. She just pops up everywhere we were, from elevators to the Royal Esplanade. This is going to be Silk. This is going to be one of your main dining rooms. Some are going to be for your scheduled time, which is your 5:30 to 8:30, and then the other ones are going to be for the anytime dining. So Silk is where we were. We had the anytime dining, and you can make reservations ahead of time if you choose to, or you can just show up. Either way, it's totally fine. The American Icon is another one of their main dining rooms. We had lunch here on one of our at sea days, and they also have some games that are played there as well. Chic is another one of their main dining rooms. They're all really nicely decorated, super nice. You can see on this day they held the games there. They had everything from checkers to Monopoly. People were playing there. The Grand is going to be their last restaurant that is a main dining room as well. This is also really posh, super nice. Love the decor in each of the restaurants. Now we're going to take you into the casino. Obviously, just a quick view in there. That is going to be located right off the Esplanade as well. So the pool area on this ship is fantastic. They have a pool that you can swim in, and they also have play areas for the little kids as well. So if you have an infant that cannot go into the water, there is a little area
area for them. They also have movies at nighttime. You can see everybody checking those out, and of course the famous ice cream machine. The Sky Bar is located right there, which is also where your bird's eye view is going to come in of the North Star. There's an indoor pool as well, plenty of indoor seating, and an indoor bar. The gym was fantastic. I didn't get a lot of pics, but these two were going at it, competing on the machine. They also have a bunch of activities in the Seaplex, everything from dodgeball to bumper cars to playing foosball. They had a couple different machines. All of this is included. There is no upcharge for any of this. They did divide the court so you could play basketball, so that part was really great. And they also had pickleball. We love this giant panda off the side of the ship. It's just kind of something to see, but it was super cute with its little baby panda. They have the rock climbing wall as well. This is also complimentary. And the iFly is also complimentary. Now you do have to schedule all of these, but they are free of charge. The Flow Rider is also free of charge, but again, you do have to come during the designated times. You can pay for a longer time or extra time on any of those, but they are free for just a trial. This is the view from the back of the ship off the buffet area. It's so nice. We also checked out the Solarium. Now, the Solarium is an adults only. You do have to be 18 and above in order to get in here. It is an indoor pool area, but it's more like a spa. You don't really have a big, huge pool. You have a bunch of different hot tubs, and you have one of these pools that kind of drips down into different layers, and it does have seating inside the pool for you to lounge in. The North Star was absolutely beautiful at night. Definitely check that out and schedule your visit. The Royal Esplanade continues to the front of the ship, and this is going to be the area that you're going to see some of the more high-end jewelry stores and a lot of different artwork. And you're also going to see Jamie's. This is another specialty dining from Jamie Oliver. This is an Italian restaurant. Jamie is from Britain, so he has a bunch of fresh pasta on here. And they also hold the cupcake decorating class here. That's what you're going to see in the background. So this is one that's fun to check out as well. There is an upcharge, and you can schedule that online also. Right outside of Jamie's is going to be Vintages. This is going to be your wine bar. So you have a selection of a bunch of different wines from all over the world. They also have this little machine that you can kind of plug in whatever wine you want, and it'll disperse it for you. You have your next cruise desk over there and Cafe 270. This is also complimentary. This is for breakfast. They do have some hot sandwiches along with some pastries. They are also open for lunch as well, where they have kind of a make your own salad station. They make it for you, but you pick all of the ingredients that you want inside of there. We really like this area because if you were looking for just a light snack, it was the perfect place to come. Now, they do have an upcharge on certain pastries, so you do have to pay attention to those little signs over there, but for the most part, almost everything is included. You can eat your food over in the 270 lounge. Now, this lounge is really nice. It has a 270-degree view, and it's also where they have some seminars and then also some shows at night. So just make sure that you schedule your shows on your app ahead of time so that you can get into everything you want to see.
How cool is this? The Ovation actually puts together a birthday party for everybody celebrating their birthday during this cruise. They have a huge cake, and they're giving away a bunch of prizes.
So right outside of 270 is going to be Levian, and then you're going to go down the Royal Esplanade a little bit farther until you get to the outside area. This is going to be your smoking area where you see everyone sitting, and then right after that is an area where you can just kind of sunbathe and relax. So this is the Ripcord by iFly. Now, both of the kids did this, and you do have to make reservations ahead of time, but it is complimentary. First, they have you check out a video before they suit you all up, and then the instructor gets in and shows you what he can do in that tube. They take you in one by one, and you each get 60 seconds in there so that you can experience what it's like to go skydiving. Both of our kids did this. Now, they've done it countless times on a lot of the cruises that we were on, and they really enjoyed it. So I definitely recommend making reservations for this ahead of time. You also can pay to have a longer experience, and that is also available on their app. One of the other activities that they offer is checking out the North Star. So the North Star is basically like this bubble that is pretty much like an elevator that goes up above the ship and gives you a really great view. Now, we did this on the day that we were in Honolulu so that we can just see everything from above, and we got really great views of the mountain and of course of the ocean as well. You do need to make reservations for this also.
We had a little bit of an itinerary change, so we're actually staying in Honolulu for 2 days. So if you need any ideas on what to do in Honolulu on the island of Oahu, by all means, send me a message, comment down below. But basically, the thing that I usually recommend to everybody is, of course, to do a circle island tour so you get a really good feel for everything that happens here on the island. Each part of the island is really different. Definitely go out to the east side. Just, you know, take a look at the beautiful Lanikai Beach. It's kind of similar to the Caribbean with the white sand and the clear blue waters. Head up to North Shore, definitely stop by the Kahuku food trucks. If you want to kind of see like a little taste of Polynesia, you have the Polynesian Cultural Center. You can go up to sleepy beach town of Haleiwa, do some shopping, do some surfing. There's some snorkeling over at Sharks Cove. That's free compared to the snorkeling over at Hanauma Bay that you have to reserve ahead of time. Head down to the Dole Plantation, check out some, you know, awesome pineapple. And then if you're there for sunset, go out to Ko'olina. Go check out the Disney Aulani, Marriott, Four Seasons, catch sunset over there, and then head back to the ship. You also have the option of going to Pearl Harbor for the day, or even going shopping down at Ala Moana, checking out Waikiki, hanging out at Ala Moana Beach, or even checking out Waikiki Beach and staying, you know, somewhere near Hilton Hawaiian Village where you have the lagoon and you have the fairly calm beach water. You can also just kind of walk around Waikiki and take in all the energy and the vibes. There's lots of people there. Because we have an overnight in Honolulu, you also have the option to check out some luau's. So if you're looking for some really great luau's, you have a lot of options in Waikiki. The Hilton Hawaiian Village has a luau. You have some luau's that are located over at the Sheraton and at the Royal Hawaiian. But if you kind of want to make a whole day of it and you're doing like a little Circle Island tour, whether you do it on your own or with an organized company, you can go up to Waimea Valley, which is like this beautiful botanical garden, and go to Toa Luau. I really like that luau. That one's like super nice. We also have a fairly new luau called Malka Warriors, and that one's going to be located right south of the Dole Plantation. So you have a few options over the next couple days. All right, so today is our last official day on the cruise. Tomorrow we disembark. We are at the Na Pali Coast of Kauai. Now, we do not stop by the island of Kauai on this particular sailing. Instead, the ship kind of just like does donuts in the water, and we get to check out this beautiful coast behind us. As you can see, it's absolutely gorgeous. We had pretty much the entire day to explore it. They were actually filming on here as well, so there was drones and there was all kind of photography and everything, but it is a beautiful part of the island of Kauai for you to see, so I definitely recommend checking it out. If you're on a cruise that does not involve cruising the Na Pali Coast itself, then definitely take a catamaran out or a helicopter or a plane to check this out, because it's absolutely beautiful. Well, there it is, the end of the cruise. We have just arrived back in Honolulu, and basically at this point it is time to say goodbye. So we are definitely going to miss the whole crew of the Ovation. We had such a nice time on this ship. It was so relaxing. It was a great way to like kind of just, you know, unwind for a while. Love the days at sea. First few days are definitely a little bit cold, but then, you know, it warms up as you're going farther south. So if you were looking for a different kind of way to visit the Hawaiian Islands and you want to check out a repositioning cruise, they happen twice a year. The first one leaving out of Vancouver, headed down to Honolulu. The second one leaving out of Honolulu, heading back to Vancouver. It kind of cuts down on your flying time depending on where you're flying in from, and you always have the option to add on whether you stay in Honolulu for a few days, kind of like, you know, puddle jump over to some of the other islands, or vice versa, you know, stay in Vancouver for a couple days as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this little recap of our Hawai'i Repositioning Cruise. Please feel free to reach out to me with any questions and comments. I'll put all of my information down below. Again, thank you so much for watching, and aloha.